Bill? Jeannie?
I'm here.
And we seem to have some of the flower volunteers as our guests this evening.
Okay, I move for a motion for approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, if we could look at the minutes for our October meeting. Motion for their approval.
I'll approve it.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I have nothing to report in regards to grants. Bill, what would you like to say about the amphitheater?
It's closed.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Wintertime.
Right. No, I don't have a whole lot to report. But we do know that one band was booked, but we can't announce the name yet. And then there's a whole bunch of holds for next year, so calendar's pretty full. So let's hope that they all come through. Really what we're doing right now, behind the scenes, is giving some of the staff a break from all the long hours over the summer and doing a lot of planning for next year. From staffing all the way down to trying to organize our thoughts on our expenses, where our revenues are coming from and so forth. We'll also be looking at launching a corporate sponsorship program here in the next, soon. Let's just leave it there. I don't even want to put a date on that, which will be a great benefit also. So at this time, that's about all I have to report on the
Okay, moving on to our landscape coordinator.
I get the floor. I probably have more to say than anybody. So, I'm going to backtrack for the year and kind of give a year-end sort of report. In March, I started meeting with Janice, Randy, and Claire at Janice's house on a Saturday afternoon, having lots of coffee and laughter, and planning and learning. And I'll tell you what, when they started talking about the beds along the walking trail, and they'd say, well, that's bed number 6, and that's the Slumberland, and they would start throwing all these names out. Oh, that's the 4-tree bed, and I'd think, what have I gotten myself into? Well, after many hours on the trail and meeting up with some pretty amazing people in the volunteers, I'm schooled. If you ask me where bed 4 is, I can tell you exactly where it is and what it looks like. So it's just been a wild ride. In March, we started. April was my first chance to meet the volunteers, and had just a huge group of folks show up for the first meeting. And I think they've all really hung on and have put in so many hours. I think once Janice is done compiling them, everybody will be amazed, because the hours that this group of people have put in to the City of Way Park is overwhelming. In May, I went to Len's Woods, why am I missing it up? Am I having a stroke? No. Woods.
Woods Nursery.
Thank you. And we picked up about 80 flats of flowers. Well, it was too soon to plant them because we still had threat of frost. So I babysat these flowers for a long time. And we did coordinate with Woods to get the amp flowers and the pots over there in 3 different stages, because the trailer could only carry so many, and Woods only had so much room. So that was coordinated with staff and with the AMP folks. And we got, about a third of them out to the AMP. And I looked at the weather, and we were getting a frost. So I called Bill on a Saturday afternoon and said, what are we going to do? And he said, I don't know. And I said, neither do I. I went around the house. I went around the neighborhood. I picked up every sheet I could find. And my husband and I went out there, and we covered, I don't know, like a dozen or more planters Plus then we had some plants already out in the city, and then I had, again, 80 flats at my house. So we were covered and we saved it all. So that was our May, and then we started with planting, and hard and heavy. And seriously, June, July, and August kind of rolled all together. I don't know when they all, it was such an amazing season for planting. And again, we split, we moved, we split again, and we moved again, and mulched and dirt and more mulch. And then when we thought we were done with mulch, we got more. Then we decided to start with the round garden, which is garden number 4 on the walking trail. It's the new garden. We were able to secure $1,500 donation from the Wake Park Family Fun Fest and started planting that out. It looks good, but we all know as gardeners, the first year it sleeps, second year it creeps. The third year is where we're really going to see the benefits, where it should leap there. And anxious to see that happen. We mulched that one too. It's a lot of mulch. That's a big garden. We ended up talking mostly about, in the beginning of the year, something that I never thought we would talk about, which is jumping worms, which is an invasive worm that came into central Minnesota. When we did our plant sale, we were very certain and careful to make sure that all the plants that we had new dirt. There was no dirt and no leftover or droppings from worms if we had any jumping worms from our gardens. We did not. We got by the season without seeing a jumping worm, which is good, because then I would put in my notice, I'm out. Just forewarning. So after that, we ended up, again, splitting. We worked on the rock garden. That's in August. We started mid-August working on that rock garden, and it was a hot mess, and I think that's the nicest thing I can say about it. And I'm going to guess that in that month of August and September, these folks out in the audience, they put in hundreds of hours on that garden. We still have hundreds of hours left, but it looks so much better. The transformation is amazing. So then we get into September, just when we think we have things under control and it's time to start cleaning out the gardens. Just when you're looking at it going, I can take a breather. We're now going to clean out the gardens, cut things back, made plans for next year, what will be moved, what we need, what we would like. And we had our final meeting in October. It was fun. You all missed it. We played games. We had pizza. We had lots of laughter. And again, just getting together with these folks is always so nice and refreshing. I've worked with so many volunteer groups in my lifetime, and I've never found a more dedicated group of people that just love what they do. And I can ask for 1 or 2 people to jump up and help, and they're there. And it's amazing. So November, we added some lights to the walking trail and finished off with chopping out the frozen dirt in these pots out front and doing some planting here, added some lights, and put it to bed. Now, we work on next year. Get a little bit of a breather, but we're planning for, again, what will be moved, what we need to order, plants. We did not plant the pots at the amphitheater last year, but our group said that they would like to this year, which is a significant cost savings. So we will be planting those pots along with the other 30 or 40 that are around our city. So altogether, our group will probably just, the standing pots alone and the hanging pots, probably planting out about 50 to 60 pots. So it's going to be so much fun. I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait to get my fingers dirty again. It was just a blast. Again, you know, I say we, and it is we. We got that donation. There's none of this that I have done this year has been an I movement. This is entirely a group. There's no way one person could do this. I cannot sing the praises of these folks and these volunteers enough. Again, I think once Janice compiles the hours, I hope you're all sitting down. So, have a tiny little video, kind of a little synopsis of some of the photos. I am not techie. I am totally amazed with myself that it got on this flash drive. If it doesn't work, it's Bill's fault.
Before we play it, I want to thank all the flower volunteers on behalf of myself, because it's underneath my department, but also from the park board and from the city of what you guys do for the city. It's truly amazing, and I'm very grateful for that. So just want you to know that.
Jeannie, did you mention anything about adding some irrigation systems in those gardens that don't have it on Third Street? A couple that on the trail,
Oh, the
Yeah.
tiny ones by the
drive up,
by the drive up.
and then the big round garden.
The big round garden has irrigation. Irrigation. It does.
I've been watering that, so I got lots
So,
of.
you know, we had some irrigation issues where it got cut off from garden number 5. There was a break in the line. So garden number 5, which would be the first Slumberland garden going east, there was a break in the line there. So everything from that drive that goes to TDM west was not getting water for a bit. So that was fixed, and all of those gardens have irrigation. The only two that do not are the signed, up by the signs. I don't know if we're going to keep that as our holding area. We're looking at other options that will be much easier for everybody to access.
What about the long-term plan on that rock garden for irrigation?
That has irrigation.
I thought a lot of those lines were dug up, but
Those lines are dug up, but there's irrigation in the ground that faces towards. There was a drip system in there initially. I know I was pulling some stuff out too, thinking, uh-oh. But it was a drip system that was initially put in there, I believe.
Right.
And now it has the pop-up watering. So it is getting watered. So we may have to change the heads a little bit
Right.
as we move on, but
There's needs for improvement out there, and and I know that. I just can't tell you exactly where we gotta put it, but, that's something that I'll look for you guys to clarify. And then once they get our new public works supervisor that deals with parks and streets, they can dig into that next year. So we'll work it out. The eventual plan is to get everything irrigated, but, so.
When I'm working down there in the gardens, there's a lot of traffic down there, and people frequently stop to tell me how much they appreciate what we do down there.
That's good.
they do.
Good.
There's one gentleman down there, and he has a little dog, and I think the dog's name is Lola, but I'm not sure. But he was down there the other day when I was putting up lights, and I just stopped and I bent down, and that dog came running like, you know, it was mine. And he's like, yeah, she remembers you. And they're so kind. The people that walk through, so nice, always thankful, always grateful. You know, you're down there for half an hour, and it's like, goodness sakes, it's just a half an hour. But there are always people that are commenting, and I'm just so excited to see that rock garden just bring it back to what it was. There's a lot of hard pulling weeds.
As chair of the park board, I want to echo what Bill said here. We appreciate all of what you've done to make our city look nice. Let me tell you that. I hear that in other meetings from other cities, so you are recognized. People know what the good work you're doing.
It's them. It's not us, it's them.
I think we should give them a round of applause.
I
I would
agree.
agree.
Nice job.
All right, you wanna see if I can play a
See
video?
if you can play that little video. It's only a little one.
Let's see if this works.
During. So there's the garden that is, there are two gardens down by River's Edge Park. And Bernie has taken on, Bernie's in our audience, she and others, but they've taken on that garden, and that was, that was kind of a catch-all garden. We took a lot of stuff out of there, and that's gonna be a big plan, is to make that into a red, white, and blue garden, because it's the flagpole garden. And then the other garden that is down there was worked on, but Janice and I and others have kind of decided that this spring, we're going to pull everything out and restart that garden. That's probably going to be the easiest, because we really don't even know what's there. What we also did this year is planted, I don't know, probably about 250 to 300 bulbs. So we're anxious for spring to see what happens. That's really it. We had a blast, and there's a lot of work to do, but we're working on giving the city the best face when you walk in, when you drive through.
Thank you.
There you go. There's your meeting.
You did good on the video.
Well, thank you.
Some of those
Thank you,
pictures are
iPhone.
beautiful, some of those flowers, wow. So, of course, you had to throw in the ugly of the rock garden before.
Well, it's always good for before, during, and after.
Right, there you go.
Kind of a weight loss program.
Okay, moving on to park updates.
I'm just gonna kind of lump updates, upgrades, and budget together. I mean, there's not a lot happening right now. I am working with a group to do somewhat of an interpretive trail. It's called BORN, B-O-R-N, Learning Trail. And I don't have all the information, so I'm going off the top of my head, so I may get some wrong, but it's made for preschool kids, and they're gonna put that out in Lions Park. They did wanna go to Rock Island, but we felt that it was probably better suited to stay in Lions Park at this point, and then if some upgrades are made out there, that it might transfer over to Rock Island at some time, but so that'll be coming up here in the spring. Not a lot of cost to the city for it, so I'll try to bring more information next time. I forgot about that. So other than that, the upgrades to the buildings, we got the dugouts roofed at the quad buildings. The quad building roof is done. They're waiting on windows because of the supply chain issue. So they hope to put new windows and siding and soffit on the main concession building. They said they could do it over the winter months, so we'll see if that gets done. The other parts of it's not really in the park, but it's in the Rivers Edge Park, is a Boy Scout building. Was supposed to have been re-roofed this year or fall, but the Boy Scouts were to supply the labor to do it, and the city bought the shingles, but they couldn't find enough people to do it towards the end of the fall. So that'll be a spring project. And then we removed the big old oak tree that was around the Octagon building down here in Community Park, opening the way up for that roof repairs. And they said they could do that over the winter months. And this year's budget, so that just morphs into this year's budget, is then I'll go back to council, we'll get new quotes, and we'll get the other buildings fixed up down here, and some roofs put on. So that's kind of where we're at this point with any park issues, unless somebody's got a question.
Thank you. Other business people would like to bring forward?
I will bring up one more thing. We're also, the city's doing a upgrade to our land use comp plan. So I'm gonna make a plug. If you're interested in being any part of that process, we do what we call it's called a PAC committee. Can't even remember what it stands for, but it's just subcommittee work that's going on behind the scenes. I don't know what our next date of our next meeting is. I can certainly get it out to you folks, but it's going to deal with park. This section is going to be on parks, their next meeting. So I'll remember to get an email out when that date and time is. We hold that downstairs, so I think it's towards the end of January because of the holidays. So if you want to get involved with that or just come listen, that would be helpful. So. Other than that, I do not have anything else. I just want to thank the board for all your support for the year. Been kind of a crazy year, and but I do appreciate all the time that you guys put in for this too. So, and have a happy holiday. Yeah.
Thank you. Our next meeting is on February 1st at 6. Have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for all coming, and happy holidays.
I just have a short announcements to make.
Are you clear, Brad? Yes or no?
No?
No, you can do it.
Yeah. First of all, we didn't say, but Claire and I take care of counting hours that our people put in. And I know that I don't have all the hours yet, but so far I've been counting up 1,140 hours that our volunteers put in.
Last year, I think it was almost 800, was last year. 2021, I want to say, was close to 800, right?
That was 754.
Yeah. So, and, yeah, you don't
And
have all of the hours.
also, I think Deb has something to say.
Oh, Deb has something to say. Yes, I do. How sweet are you? don't know that I'm a crier, you guys. Stop it.
There are cookies.
Cookies too? I love meeting night. Thank you, guys. Well, we're working on it. Bill and I talked, she said you better come back next year.
Oh, yeah, she can't leave.
So, aw, how kind are you? God dang it. You're all the best. Yeah. Aw, thank you, guys. Again,
All right.
there's no way that I can thank you all enough, because seriously, when I
You
call,
bet.
you all are like,
They're small.
hold my beer, Laura, where do you want me?
Are you
Penny.
serving it?
I'm serving you,
I
yes.
think I'm gonna have one of those.
Okay. Get past your walker.
Oh. And then if, yeah. Well, let everybody sit,